Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching episode 8 of House of the Dragon. I would love to say that the last episode was my favorite episode, but I can't because I couldn't see about 30% of it. But what I did see, I really did enjoy. It was really hard to make out a lot of the stuff with the dragon. You could kind of see a lot more of it when they were further up in the sky and they had a little bit more of the moonlight, but it was really hard to see. And not that I need to have like a full on lovemaking scene with Rhaenyra and Daemon, but that was also visually a little hard. I was very squinty. I've heard that episode, a lot of people had a bit of an issue with, and I completely understand. But I liked it for what we got. Like it was definitely like Game of Thrones soap opera. I love that it's like everybody's together. So everybody kind of just is seeing how these relationships are crumbling and falling apart. Um, I will say that I am really tired of having a lot of empathy for certain characters. I start crying, or I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. Kristen Cole, I can't believe I wasted my tears on him. I felt bad for Varys because he couldn't take part in the hunt. And, not that you should feel sorry for crippled people, but I felt sorry because in this world, I know he's probably seen as less than. We know what they think of dwarves. So, I was like, oh, poor guy. And then I was like, oh, you're evil. And I felt bad for Aemond because like his cousin's playing that prank on him from not getting a dragon and, being treated that way was horrible. I was so excited for him to ride Vagar. Um, at the time, I didn't realize that that was Lena's dragon. So when he lands and he's gloating about it, he's kind of being a dick. He's kind of being a little dick about it. But especially because I feel like Lena's daughter should have had the opportunity to take Vagar. And I don't know how that works. I don't know if dragons are just like, well, you rode me, so I guess I'm yours. I don't know how that works, but I do think that like she should have been able to have a shot at that dragon before him. Now, the fight that they get into, like him treating those girls that way, I get why like Jace wants to get involved and why they're all fighting and they're, piling up on top of him. He, like I said, he was being a little bit of a jerk, and it seemed like kind of like just like cousins fighting. I've never fought with my cousins like that, but like it just kind of like seems like a little like rumble that cousins get into, and then someone loses an eye, and boy did that change the tone of the entire episode. And it really brought out the other person that I feel like a lot of sadness for and sympathy for, Allison. It brought out a different side in her. Now, I totally understand her like sticking up for her children and, wanting it to be eye for an eye, which is extreme, but I get it. In this realm, that is how we handle these situations. I don't think maiming two children, especially ones that are in line for the Iron Throne, is the best idea. But she's like, hey, Criston, go get me that eye. And he was like, okay, like, he was ready to go. And she was kind of like stepping on the king's toes a little bit. She's like, no, I demand it. Like but you don't have any power. You're a queen by marriage. You are not a queen because you were born with that blood. And it really made him look bad. But then when she gets into the fight with Rhaenyra, it made her look bad. It made her look crazy. It made her look like she was out of control. And like that she was bonkers, which it did. It really did. I liked seeing it because like I know that that passion's there for her children, and that's the people that she's willing to fight for. But it just kind of sucked that it happened in front of the entire court. The other thing that happened in front of the court is pretty much Viserys wanting to know what this rumor is that caused somebody to lose an eye. And when he goes to Aegon, Aegon's like, everybody knows. How do you not know? That was tough. That was tough because Viserys is so blinded for the love of his daughter that, he doesn't want to hear it. And he even tells them as such, like, no one is going to question the parentage of Rhaenyra's children. I feel like that just made everybody question it, even if, everybody had already done it. But like now that the king is like, no one's supposed to talk about it, they're just like, oh, shit's going down. And the king is not in good health. Like, I feel like bad things are happening to Viserys. He just looks worse and worse every episode. Now, what was Rhaenyra doing when the kids were getting into a fight? Well, so even from the first episode, I already felt like Damon and Rhaenyra had a weird connection. And I say weird because she was so young and he was older that it felt inappropriate. And while I don't like say like, hey, yeah, guys, incest, marry family members, it's fine. I don't think it's fine. But for them, yeah, it works. It works. I definitely am much happier with that pairing than them being with the Valerian kids. And again, they got me. I'm so upset. I think Laenor's been killed. He's been murdered. So Rhaenyra and Daemon can, have their love affair and get married and take over the realm. And I thought that like they were gonna kill Laenor. And although somebody died, and, so I was crying for a reason. I feel heartbreak for the Valerians. I really do. And then when I see Laenor get into that boat without his hair, it took me a hot second, but I was just like, wait a second. He's got very distinct facial features. Very distinct facial features. And then I was like, oh my God, he's alive. Great. Go live your fantasy life somewhere. I feel like that will catch up to him at some point. He'll only be able to get away with it for so long. And then I don't know what happens to you if you fake your death. All I know is the Valerians do not deserve this. And Corlys was even talking to like the middle Targaryen boy. I don't know what his name is. Who's ever after Jace. But he was talking to him and he's like, I don't want to be Lord of Driftmark because that means everybody's dead. He's such a tender, sensitive soul that like, and then like for Corlys to have that conversation with him, I just love Corlys. I love him, which means he's probably gonna break my heart. Or Rhaenys. I like them two together. I really do. I feel like they deserved so much better. She deserved to be queen back in the day. They should have just gave it to her, but here we are. So now with Rhaenyra and Daemon having their moment that I could barely see, it was also in the 30% of the show that was hardly visible. Not that I needed to see it, but like it was interesting to watch them instead of it just like being sex and like children being made, because we've seen Alicent and the King and we've seen her and Kristen Cole just kind of having fun. But like to see like two people who really do kind of have some passion and love for each other come together like that was really beautiful. I wish there was more moonlight or starshine on it, but here we are. And them getting married at the end, they only had the children around. So I don't know how they're going to break that to Viserys, who is already on his way back to the Red Keep, with Vhagar flying. Aemond shouldn't have gotten that dragon. He shouldn't have. And I've heard that there's different dragons too, that the one dragon that Aemond saw right after the prank was actually Aegon's dragon, and then there's another dragon that's Dreamfire, which I believe is Helena's. Just tell me whose dragon is whose in the comments, because I have no idea. And I will turn the captions on this time, because not having the captions last time, I didn't know what was being said, and then when Xander translated, it was ah. It wasn't anything important. Cool. So I really thought we were going to get like a creepy Varys episode. We did not. Although he did like say like I'll get an eye for you, and Allison's like, I'm good. I'm good for right now, because she knows that like when he means like I'll bring you an eye, like there'll be an eye in a jewelry box, and it'll be like maybe like all of their eyes. Like, I brought you more than just one. Like he's messed up. And I feel really bad because I had said something about Helena being weird, but I think she's weird because she reminds me of Varys, the way she talks. Because I want to know more about her. I would like to get more in depth about her character. Simply because a lot of people were saying that like she's kind of on like the spectrum, and I was just like, oh, well, that would be so interesting to find out more about her. The reason why I think she's weird, not just the Varys kind of connection I feel that she has, but like bugs. Like I love Dominic Monaghan. He's my second favorite Hobbit. But like he has like a whole series where he's like handling bugs. And I'm like, yuck, gross. And like that's what gets me with Helena is the bugs and the way she talks to them. So little bit more in depth with her. I'd love to see her riding a dragon. I would love to see more from her that doesn't involve bugs. You know, like a real conversation. I don't know if she's capable of that. Obviously, if she's on the spectrum, then, social interaction isn't really something that we're going to see from her. But, like, maybe her just mumbling to herself about something that's doesn't have, a thousand legs and six eyes and anyway, no arachnids, please. Like, let's just stop. So, but I am very interested to find out how Rhaenyra and Daemon tell Viserys that they are married. I also think that there is a fair-skinned, light-haired baby boy coming our way. Like the first, like real, like person for the throne, Targaryen, instead of Targaryen Valerian. I think Aemond's gonna be trouble. I really do. I'm really excited for his scar though, and his eye patch. I don't think that Alicent and Rhaenyra are going to be trading best friend necklaces anytime soon. I think Corlys and Rhaenys they might be changed by losing both of their children. I don't know if they will be changed in the sense of like now their grandchildren are top priority. I don't know. Like a lot of parents have a hard time when they lose a child, let alone both children. It's just shocking that Laenor would do that for I guess if it's facing death or going somewhere else where you can live with somebody that you love. I don't know if he loves him or not. I just know that he likes his company. But I feel like you choose that. It just sucks for the parents. I don't know what Varys is gonna do now that he is Lord of Harrenhal. I don't know what happens with like all of the stuff that Daemon kind of was going through on the countryside and what he was trying to make happen there. Like still Lord of the Vale. There's a lot of properties that are now around Westeros that are very much heavily Targaryen owned. So interesting. I don't know if they go and live at Dragonstone. There's so many questions. There's so many questions. I'm probably missing some that I should be asking, but I'm just really excited to get into this and to see where this goes because I feel like with the teenage actors, it was very interesting to kind of see the way everything, all the pawns were being placed, ultimately for not only who's going to be heir, but then who's going to marry the king, about like the children and somebody competing for heir against Rhaenyra, even though like the king has repeatedly said she's the heir to the throne. But like, like watching all of this happen and now, now we're getting to the thick of it. And I'm very excited to see where it goes. So with that being said, let's get into it. I got some Alicent hair going on today, don't I? I'm very fluffy. Oh, nudity in this one. Yay! I like at the opening when it says that, I get like, Rice Iffens. I think that's how you say his name. Somebody was just like, yeah, he was in Notting Hill, and I decided to watch Notting Hill because I was like, who the hell was he in Notting Hill? A far cry from the character he is in here. I'll say that much. Delightful, gross, but very different.
It's been near 6 years since I last saw my lord husband, Maester. I must know. Will he live?
He led his sailors into an ambush, a ship made to look as if it were abandoned. In the fighting, his neck was slashed by a courser's dagger. Much blood was lost, but the greater concern is the fever that followed. Ship's maester said, he burns from within.
I just said he was my favorite character.
Driftmark is mine, by all rights. And while I should like your support, I do not need it.
Okay.
My cousin the king would have your tongue for this.
But it's not a king who sits the Iron Throne these days, good sister.
Alicent.
It's a queen.
Yeah. It's been 6 years then. I didn't even get to say goodbye to Corliss. It's upsetting. Dragon? Is that what I just saw? Was a shadow of a dragon? Ooh. Ooh. Where are we going? Okay, kids that climb don't fare well, so they fall and then they're paralyzed. I'm assuming it's a kid. I don't think it's Daemon and I don't think it's Rhaenyra. Oh, shit. Okay, I didn't know that that's how dragon eggs were laid. I couldn't tell. Was that Daemon? It was. Nice. Oh, she's pregnant.
The end?
The mouth.
Mouth. Oh, jeez, she knew that.
He looks like a prince. I love it.
Unless you're planning to depose your own mother, you have plenty of time to study.
Oop. Good point.
Has the Viper's venom spread so far?
Those vipers rule in my father's name. And my father...
Probably a shell.
To King's Landing, then.
And these are the days of our lives in Westeros.
And her royal consort, Prince Daemon Targaryen.
I guess we kind of got around them telling Viserys about the marriage because they did a 6-year time jump. Oh, has she not been back since?
A matter has arisen that requires your attention.
Whatever it is, Sir Eric, you need to wait.
I'm Eric, Your Grace.
Of course.
Eric.
Apologies, sir.
It's about the prince. There's been a delicate situation in his apartments.
Uh-oh. So have they not seen Viserys since the funeral? Oh. Daemon always looks like he has a slight, face of amusement, and I don't like that.
Father?
Ugh. Ugh.
I'm here with Daemon.
He actually looks sad. That look of amusement went away.
There's someone we wish to introduce you to.
God.
This is Aegon.
Aegon.
And this is Viserys.
They named one of their children Aegon. I get Viserys, but Aegon is just...
My tea.
This?
Yes. Oh.
pain reliever. What you smelling, Damon?
I brought her here immediately. She's seen no one else, you guys.
Come here, sweetling.
Oh god, what did her son do?
When I turned, I asked him to stop. Your Grace, he did. Truly, you must believe me.
Thank you for telling me, Diana.
You better go beat that child. Not for beating children, but...
I believe you.
You do?
You're probably still gonna die anyway.
They might think you're trying to besmirch the prince, or worse.
Mm.
That you're the sort of girl that might have enticed him in the first place.
I wasn't dreaming of anything another word to anyone, Your Grace.
I know you won't.
Oy.
For your troubles.
I thought she's gonna have her killed. She still may. The good tea. Hopefully it's the tea that rids yourself of unwanted things rather than kill her.
What is it? That's all you can say for yourself?
Something happened.
Diana.
He doesn't even know her
The
name.
serving girl. Think of the shame on your wife. On me.
Oh, is he married?
How can you keep carrying on like this, especially on a day like today?
Why? What is it today?
He deserved that.
You are no son of mine.
Ooh. Ooh.
I try so hard, but it will never be enough for you or father.
To not rape? That's not a lot.
No one would question me being heir to Driftmark. If I look more like Sir Lena of Velaryon than Sir Harwin Strong.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what they think.
Does he have an eye patch? Is this Aemond? With Sir Criston? So dope. Aegon's that little twat, and then this is Aemond. Bravo.
Nephews? Have you come to train?
That's terrifying. He's so scary.
Might I speak to the princess alone, Rhaena?
Did Rhaena ever get a dragon?
I did not order his death.
Daemon did.
Nor was I complicit in it, I swear this to you.
Daemon didn't tell her? Or is she lying?
Back Luke's claim, and let us betroth Laena's children to mine. Baela will be queen of the 7 kingdoms.
A generous offer.
Interesting.
Or a desperate one.
What does it matter?
It does not matter.
And she keeps promising, like, her sons to people to know that they're bastards.
They force you to your knees. And I must stand alone.
I love Rhaenys. I didn't know how I was going to feel about her, but I really like her.
The Song of Ice and Fire, do you believe it to be true? It was our duty to hold the realm united against a common foe. But in naming me heir, you divided the realm. I thought I wanted it.
I think she just wanted him to believe in her. God, that is not a way to live. It really isn't.
I want to have supper, Otto.
It is the morning, Your Grace.
Tonight.
You can have supper in the morning.
Bring milk of the poppy.
Just arrange the supper.
Though it is the great hope of this court that Lord Corlys Velaryon survive his wounds,
I hope so too.
we gather here with the grim task of dealing with the succession of Driftmark.
This is a matter of blood, not ambition.
Smile on Aemond is just creepy.
If I am to grace this fast with some answer, I will start by reminding the court that nearly 20 years ago in this very...
Who's here? Oh, Viserys.
Lord of the 7 kingdoms and protector of the realm.
Showing up like a fucking boss. I mean, kinda. He's having a rough time, but for him to show up, it's a big deal. Yeah, all the plans you made, they're gonna just go poof. Oh. That's cooler than an eye patch. Very Phantom of the Opera.
I will sit the throne today.
Yeah, he will.
Your Grace.
Oh, the musical score to this. Paddy Considine's like acting job is just fantastic. And I have some things to say about the makeup job that they did on him. Could be better. Damon loves his brother so much. So happy to see that.
The Driftwood throne, and the next Lord of the Tides.
Although I really should go to Aemond anyway.
Yet you dare tell me who deserves to inherit the name Velaryon? No. I will not allow it.
There's that look of amusement from Damon.
That is no true Velaryon.
Oh, that
and
is...
certainly no nephew of mine.
Go to your chambers, you have said enough.
Viserys is my true-born grandson. And you are no more than the second son of Driftmark.
You may run your house as you see fit, but you will not decide the future of mine.
I think he actually does.
I will not see it ended on the account of this. Say it.
Yeah, I dare you. I dare you.
Her children are bastards! And she is a whore.
Well, Aemond, that's not gonna fare well for you.
Will have your tongue for that.
Jesus, Damon!
He can keep his tongue.
Disarm him!
Many.
Holy shit! Wow, I knew Damon was probably gonna do something. Not that, but I knew he was gonna do something. Is this Corlys? Nope. It's Aemond. Oh, wow. That's gnarly. I wasn't attached to him, but still. Yeah.
The stranger has visited me more times than I can count, Grand Maester. I assure you, he cares little whether my eyes are open or closed.
Well, House Valerian is just taking a beating. Good grief. Just dinner as usual. There you go. Although entering the throne room the way he did, boss move.
May the smith mend the bonds that have been broken for far too long. And to Aemond Velaryon, may the gods give him rest.
Well done, Jace. You'll finally get to lie with a woman. You do know how the act is done, I assume.
I freaking hate Aegon so much. Oh, I don't know if we need to take that off. Do I want to see this? Nope. Sure don't. Oh.
My own face is no longer a handsome one. If indeed it ever was.
Wow.
Who may not, it seems, walk for much longer among you.
I wish to raise my cup to Her Grace the Queen.
Okay, okay.
But I must admit that no one has stood more loyally by his side than his good wife.
She probably needed
My
to hear that
apology.
too. Oh. She definitely needed to hear that.
We have more in common than we sometimes allow. You will make a fine queen.
I don't know if it was just words or if it was the truth, but I liked hearing it. Which means there's probably a lie in there somewhere. Oh, no.
I regret the disappointment you're soon to suffer. But if you ever wish to know what it is to be well satisfied, all you have to do is ask.
Chase.
Yeah, he's scary. He's really scary.
To Prince Aegon and Prince Aemond. To you and your family's good health, dear uncles.
To you as well.
I would like to toast Vela and Rhaena. They'll be married soon. It isn't so bad. Mostly he just ignores you.
Did brother and sister get married? Did that happen? Because I'm assuming that's Helena. Did she and Aegon get married? He's such a twit. Aww. A bold move. Oh, it is nice to see them happy. I feel like it'll be short-lived. This is the last time we see him alive. I don't know if he had a happy moment or not, but it felt like it was a little happy. Oh. The prank. Yeah.
Final tribute to the health of my nephews. Jace, Luke, and Joffrey. Each of them handsome, wise, strong.
Aemond.
Come.
Oh. Sick burn, dude.
Strong boy.
I dare you to say that again.
Why?
Wow.
It was only a compliment.
Wow.
Do you not think yourself strong?
Oh God. Oh God, really?
I was merely expressing how proud I am of my family, Mother.
He's so
Though
bold.
It seems my nephews aren't quite as proud of theirs. Wait!
Got a little bit of Uncle Damon in him. Or is it stepbrother? Half-brother? That look of amusement on Damon's face.
It's best, I think, if we go back to Dragonstone. You've only just arrived.
Aww.
Let me see the children home. I'll, return on Dragonback. The king and I would both like that.
Aww. I hope that's sincere. I get fooled by people so easily on this show. I always feel that Alicent is like really pure. Not all good, but like when she says things, it is actually from the heart. Is Damon gonna go visit this chick?
It's been quite a night at the castle, it seems.
Oh no.
Lady.
Little bird. God, is the king gonna die? I feel like since the first episode, he's been like this close to like dying. Like, whether it's a infection, lost an arm. He's in so much pain. She has been a good wife.
What do you want it to do? If I believe it to be true.
Believe what to be true, my king.
Oh no.
Oh, don't you remember? The Song of Ice and Fire. It The prince.
Prince Aegon.
Oh, she's gonna read this the wrong way.
It's cold. In the dark.
Damn it.
It is you. You are the one. You must do this.
She's gonna interpret that very differently.
I understand, my king.
No, you don't. You don't.
Oh, no more.
There's a huge bug on my desk right now. I don't know what this thing is, but it's scary. Oh. I don't know what that thing was, but it looked gross. I don't even know how that bug got there without me noticing. Like, where did it come from? I'm so thoroughly creeped out right now. Okay, so a lot happened. R.I.P. Vaemond went out, just I thought Daemon was gonna do something. I thought maybe a knife in the stomach. Didn't see that going down. The line, he can keep his tongue. Indeed he can. Wow. Wow. Some really powerful moments. Like, not only with the king, making his way to the throne. And I will say, just like Paddy Constantine in his acting, the music in that, the visuals, but I will say that makeup did not look good. I am good friends with somebody who does creature makeup in Hollywood. He has done Teen Wolf, The Walking Dead. Like, I know good makeup when I see it. Not fantastic. They could have done a little bit better, I think. I'm not sure if that was like the big talk about this episode. That's the thing that like just kind of sat with me a little bit, but that whole moment with him was just so powerful. And what a way, especially because I do believe that he died at the end of the episode when he says, "My love," that was probably his last breath, the last thing that he ever said. But like him making his way to the throne and having that decree and being king again and deciding to not take the milk of the poppy, I think is the other thing, is that was really clouding his mind. And granted, when you have pain and you want to be out of pain, the pain medications are not always the best for decision making. So definitely a strong moment, very powerful moment when he is speaking at the dinner. Like, even though this like episode doesn't revolve around Viserys necessarily, it definitely is about Viserys. And the dinner and him speaking to them about how much he loves them, that's him saying goodbye to everybody. I think everyone kind of knew, like, the king's gonna die. Rhaenyra saying what she did about Alicent, and I want to believe that it's all sincere, but I also know that I get made quite the fool a lot of times in these shows because I want to believe what people are saying, especially when they say something really beautiful. And I want to believe that, but I feel like too, the both of them saying nice things to each other about her being a good, dutiful wife, and like that she has been, by the king's side and has been taking care of him. And, even Alicent kind of like saying like, thank you, like you'll make a fine queen. And them having that moment where she's like, I will come back on Dragonback to come see you. And me and the king would love to see you. I feel like Viserys at the end of the episode saying what he did to Alicent, the interpretation will not go the way that he had meant it, especially the way he said it to Rhaenyra. Her returning is going to be tumultuous. A lot of that just goes right out the window. And, that's one thing that I really liked about when they were reading the prophecy back in Game of Thrones. It was the prince or princess in the Old Valyrian. And of course, Alicent wouldn't know that. And she doesn't know that it's on the dagger. Only Rhaenyra does. If indeed Viserys believes that Rhaenyra is the key to uniting the realm, that's great. I don't think that that's the message that Alicent got. I think Alicent thinks that Aegon is supposed to be king, that he is the prince that was promised, and that she has to be the one to make sure that that happens. Oh God. The ramblings of a dying man is going to destroy the throne. Aegon is a twat, total twat. Are him and Helena married? Is that what I got out of that? And why does he still look like a little boy and Aemond looks like a man, and a scary man, and he looks like he's like on like the same level as like Daemon of like, I can do some crazy shit. And him like standing up and saying just like, the health to my nephews and hopefully that they'll be strong men. Oh God, bold. Look, I didn't have like any like real fear over any of the children really, but Aemond, with the scar and the eye patch and the way he dresses, it's very Dany when she is like going into the madness with like the black leather on top of the dragon. Like he's full Mad King vibe, but he's scary even when he just stands up. But like the fact that Luke saw the pig being placed in front of Aemond, and he had the smirk. Maybe he was remembering the joke, remembering the prank, and he was just being cheeky. I don't think so. So really, Aemond standing up and saying what he did. I don't want to say that it's called for because it isn't called for, but at the same time, like, what'd you think was going to happen when you smirked at that guy? Does he look like he's just going to like take a joke? No. And even Vaemond being like so brazen of calling them bastards in court, and that Rhaenyra is not a legitimate queen and she's not a legitimate heir. I mean, bravo Daemon for taking that into his own two hands. And even Viserys standing up and drawing his own knife and saying, I will have your tongue for that. I think Vaemond, once he knew that the decree was made, that like pretty much he wasn't going to have Driftmark. He wasn't going to be the new sea snake if Corlys dies, which it sounds like it's almost certain that he will, which means he probably won't. But I love Corlys. I'm very upset that this is the position, that the 6-year time jump, like we don't get to live in like a lot of time frames like for very long. But just God, I wanted to at least be able to say goodbye to Corlys. Like I got a goodbye to Viserys. I really like Corlys and Rhaenys, however you say it. I really like her. I am so happy that she took Rhaenyra's side. I am creeped out by the fact that the young cousins are betrothed to each other. Are they cousins? Daemon's kids are... Oh God, I don't know. There's like such a mix because they would be... I don't know what they would be. I guess cousins. They're the step siblings. I don't know. There's such a mix there. and I don't know, is Aemond promised to someone? Does he have a wife? I don't know, but I was really happy that Jace asked Helena to dance. I thought that was very kind of him. But like Helena just being like, they mostly ignore you. Like she was very blunt. Very innocently blunt. Okay, I feel bad for calling her weird because at least she's not playing with bugs. So I'm just like, oh no, she's just off. She's just off. She just isn't norm, I would also say though that Aemond isn't normal. Like none of these people are normal except for maybe Alicent. And I know that like a lot of people don't like Alicent. And again, I don't know the rest of the series like everybody else does, but like she has been a good and dutiful wife. Has she been doing stuff for her father in the past 6 years? Probably. But like she even said that like we need to do things for the people of the realm and make the best decision for the people of the realm. And I really do believe that. But I feel like she's gonna mess everything up with that prophecy. Oh God. So I still don't know, like now there's a triarchy that has resurged in the Stepstones. I don't know who's leading that now because the people that were like feeding other people to the crabs. I don't know if that's still a thing, if that's happening again, or if it's different people. But there seems to be a war coming, an uprising of some sort that, like, now Luke is going to be in charge of. I hope that he looks towards Damon for that. Or maybe Corlys will still be around. I gotta be able to say goodbye to my Corlys. I really like that guy. I really like him a lot. And I like Damon's girls. They seem to have grown up to be well-adjusted, somewhat normal people. And him, like, smiling and laughing and having fun with Rhaenyra at the dinner. Like, he seemed very amused when he was walking around at first, but then when he saw his brother, that look deeply changed. It wasn't like just concern, but it was like of course there was love, but there was like a very vivid pain of him seeing his brother in this condition. And him helping him onto the throne was so beautiful. Putting the crown back on his head was so beautiful. Like, I have this, it's not even a love-hate relationship with Daemon, but like the love that I have for him, it like waxes and wanes. And like in this one, it just really waxed out. Like, it was just like, oh, you're making my heart burst, man. You are making my heart burst. And even the look that he had towards Aemond when Aemond was leaving, and like the deep stare that he had, and that amused look on his face that he has, that Daemon smile of just like, yeah, okay, try it. Like, I like love that. I love that. Him getting the dragon eggs at the beginning, also very unexpected, because I don't know what it looks like when a dragon lays eggs. Apparently, it looks like a poop. I thought he was totally in a pile of poo. But like, those are dragon eggs, and that was from Syrax, I think, not Syraxus, because Syraxus is a boy. Although Syraxus and Syrax could have made those eggs. I'm not quite sure. But like, more dragon eggs, and there was 3. Is it the dragon eggs that we know and love? I'm trying to remember. I feel like somebody left a comment that said something about that. Y'all like sometimes throw in spoilers, and I don't even realize they're spoilers. Like, I feel like it's just like something from the book. But like, now that I think about it, like, oh my god. Are you telling me that Daemon Targaryen was the one that discovered our Drogon? I don't know if I'm making that up. If I am, tell me. If I'm not, also tell me. I don't think that you can spoil much other than like, who ends up on the throne? Shh. Although somebody said after my reaction of Criston, they're just like, you are crying for the wrong person. And I was like, I don't get it until the next episode. And I was like, oh, I get it. So thankfully, Xander sometimes runs interference and will not let me read certain things. That one got by. I think that one might have actually been on Patreon too. But it was definitely like, oh yeah, you were right. And again, I don't know anything about Alicent, but I think the Alicent hate, I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe I'll find out, maybe the next episode, because of this prophecy. But like, I still like Alicent, and I still like Rhaenyra and Rhaenys, and I like I said, I have this like waxing and waning feeling with Daemon. And Aemond, I don't have a love or hate, but damn, am I intrigued by that character. Every time he just has this face, whether he's fighting Criston in the yard, or if he's sitting at the table and he's got a smirk, or if he's saying something to his cousins, like, I'm just like captivated by him. I don't know who that actor is, but kudos. He did a great job. Like, I am terrified of Aemond, but I like want more of him as well. And I might regret that every time I say that I want more of a character. I either get more and I'm like, ooh, or I get more and I'm like, oh. So we'll see. No Viserys in this. He must be at Harrenhal. I don't know, maybe if Otto was like not okay with him being around. So wherever Viserys, am I saying Viserys? Viserys. There's too many names, but Varys was not around. And I don't know if Otto has an issue with him, because I believe they're both trying to kind of manipulate Alicent a little bit. But just the look that Viserys gave Otto at the dinner, and the smile. Viserys might not have been a great king, but he was a great character. Great acting moments. Just kudos. I never know where these episodes are going to go, like because of time jumps and everything like that. But like now with this prophecy and Alicent, like I don't know where she's going to go. She really thinks that Aegon is supposed to be the heir, because like I would tell you, like, of the people that like, I don't want to say that Aemond would be a good king. I think that he would be, I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough, but I feel like he would have been the king that Daemon would have been. Or with a tinge of Joffrey. I don't know. He seems dark, but he also seems very bold and very confident. And I like that in a king. That's what I liked about Daemon, and that's what I like about Aemond. But Aegon is a mess. Total mess. But there's another Aegon, which we learned is Daemon and Rhaenyra's son. Great that they got another Aegon, and another Viserys. It's so funny, like, how the name Viserys has changed for me so much, because the Viserys that I remember, I don't like. And now the Viseryses that I know, one's a baby, so, like, there's not much to say there, but, like, King Viserys, like, the kid that gets named after you is a complete a-hole and died a spectacular death. And I ain't mad, but, like, okay. I have to stop lamenting about Game of Thrones characters because this happened first. Oh, we're getting into the thick of it. I'm so excited. If you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon, as well as to one episode early, and episodes of Vox Machina and/or, which will be up very soon. The full-length reactions are up. The edited versions will be available within a smaller time frame. But also The Expanse, we're starting season 5, and I'm terrified. I'm going to actually watch the season 5 episode 1 tonight after I watch this one. Everybody's been joining my Patreon because of season 5, so that tells me something insane is going to happen. If you have not started watching The Expanse, my God, I can't tell you what an amazing show it is. And like there's no crossover between these two shows, but if I could introduce you to a show that's just as amazing as House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones, but in a completely different like view, it's that one. I can only tell you enough, but that's my recommendation. But there will be those full-length reactions and early episodes on my Patreon, as well as The Glass Onion and John Wick 3 this month. But other than that, guys, remember to like, subscribe, get notifications so you don't miss when I post something. I've been posting a lot. I'm tired. I need a nap. But I love doing this, and I love doing reactions because I love sharing my emotions. So if you want to see me cry a bunch, if you want to see me laugh a bunch, if you want to see me laugh and cry a bunch, just watch my episodes of Wednesday. And Vox Machina, for that matter. But this is the place to be if you want variety. Okay, guys? With that being said, I'll see you.